Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I achieved this soft glam makeup look right here. I really feel like soft glam is definitely making a comeback. It's been super popular lately, especially in the beauty community. Now, although I did use browns and kind of like neutral tones today, I do want to say that I don't think that soft glam is limited to neutral shades. I feel like you can create a soft glam look with literally any eyeshadow, whether it be green, purple, orange, yellow, just as long as the shades that you're using are unified and kind of married together to where they're kind of like seamless, you definitely can achieve it. Do not feel like you are limited to using the products that I used in today's video. You can honestly use any eyeshadow palette, any foundation, any concealer, anything that I use. Do not feel like you need these specific products to achieve this, because this can definitely be achieved with pretty much any makeup product. I'm pretty sure you have something in your collection similar, if not different, that'll work and give you kind of the same results. So with that being said, if you are not subscribed to my channel, definitely make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also make sure you're clicking that bell so you can be notified every single time I upload. And with that, let's just jump right into the tutorial on this beautiful soft glam beat. Your girl is feeling herself today, clearly. So if you're not new to my channel, then you would know that I am not the type of person to do my base makeup first. But lately, I don't know what it is or what's been going on with me, but definitely been doing my base makeup first. So that's what we're going to do today. I am going to be using the Farsali Liquid Glass first. I have seriously been loving this product ever since I received it in BoxyCharm. So I'm just going to put a little bit on my skin. This product has been so amazing, and I just really love it. This product definitely gives my skin like that boost of radiance that it needs, and just makes it look super hydrated, like I just drank a whole gallon of water. I really love this product, and because my skin has just been so dry lately, it's really been beneficial. Because I want a little bit of an extra glow to my skin, I am going to go in with the Milani Soft Focus. This is their glow, what is it, like bronze glow is the shade, but it's like a complexion enhancer. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this on the highest points of my cheek area and just kind of rub this in over here, because this will help like make our skin a little glowy underneath our foundation. So I'm just going to put a little bit here, and then I'll apply some to the other side as well. And I'm just using my fingers. You could use your sponge. It's really up to you. I probably shouldn't have put this on my blemish, but too late, already done. And then I'm also going to put a little bit on my nose and the bridge of my nose, down here on my chin, just a little bit on my forehead area. So you see, it just gives us a nice little subtle glow. You can definitely see it more over here where my blemish is, but it's all good. But it gives us a nice subtle glow. I really have not used this product in a very long time, so I did want to use it today because we are doing like a soft glam look, and for me, soft glam equals glowy skin, so I want to try and achieve that. I'm also going to be using this Smashbox Love Ritual Primer Water. I'm just going to spray a little bit of this on my face. Next, I'm going to go in with the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer. I really need to get a full-size bottle of this. As you guys can see, I really have been loving this little one, and I still haven't got the big size, but I will, because this one is running low. This, I'm just going to focus mostly like right in the inner part of my face, just because I do want like glowy skin. So normally when I use this primer, pretty much every time I use it, I set it with a little bit of translucent powder. So I don't want to put this on my entire face. I know some people are like really scared to put powder underneath their foundation, but I'm telling you guys, it really has been a major game changer for me. So that's why I do it. I just feel like the application of my makeup is so much better, and the longevity of it lasts much longer, and it just looks nicer. And then I'm going to go in with my color corrector. This is the Pixie by Petra. just looks like this. I'm gonna do above my lip because your girl got a little stash. I mean, I did shave it, but I'm just gonna put a little bit of this here just to kind of cancel out the darkness. You know, we tend to get a little dark on top of our lip, or around our lips for that matter. And then I'm also gonna place a little bit underneath my eyes, like in this inner corner area, just to cancel out any darkness underneath there. So I am going to be going over it with a little bit of translucent powder. This is the Maybelline Light Medium Translucent Powder right here. And I'm just going to use this one just to dust a light layer of powder over top of the corrector and where I put the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer. So just like a light layer of powder just to set everything down. I find that setting down your color corrector is like the best thing to do, because when you don't set it, sometimes the corrector will move and then it'll mix in with your foundation, and especially if you're using more of like an orange based type of corrector, your foundation can look super orange. So to prevent all of that, we're just going to set with a very light layer powder and move on. For foundation today, I'm going to be going in with 2 different shades of the NARS Natural Radiant Foundation. You guys, if you didn't know, Ulta does sell the little mini travel size version of this foundation, which I think is super great because this foundation right here is a holy grail of mine. But I did pick up a lighter shade just because I'm no longer tan, but I am mixing the 2. I do not know how to say this, but I can tell you it's medium 3.5, and this one is Syracuse medium 1. So I kind of just mixed the 2 together just to try to make my perfect shade. I do have another one, but I like mixing these 2 the best. I'll leave all the shades that I own down below. But yes, these 2 I'm mixing together and making like my own little concoction. And then I'm just going to put this on my skin and then start working it in. I do like to use a beauty sponge to do this. I haven't been the biggest fan of brushes. The last time I used a brush for foundation, which was in like my first video back. Looking back at that video, not too sure about the brush, but I definitely love using a sponge. So I'm applying it on the bottom half of my face first, and then whatever's left, I'll just drag it to my forehead or just add a dot on my forehead, because I don't like to put too much on my forehead, because you really don't need that much product on your forehead unless you're like really trying to cover something up. So as you guys can see, I just added 2 dots, and then I'm just going to blend this one this way and then blend the other one the opposite way, and it gives you just the amount of coverage that you need, because you really do not need too much coverage. For concealer, I'm going to be using the Born This Way Multi-Sculpting Concealer, and this I believe is in Warm Beige. Yes, so Warm Beige is the shade that I'll be using today. And of course, I'm just going to put this underneath my eyes just to give it a little bit of a brightening effect. I also received a little mini tester size of the new Tarte glow stick wand thing situation. You know, that new, like, I guess it's a different formula for the concealer. The original Tarte Shape Tape is like matte, and this one's supposed to be radiant. This is like a very tiny, and this is in the shade Dream. I don't know how light it'll be, but I'm just gonna mix a little bit of this in here. I'm just gonna let that sit for a little bit, get a little tacky. That way we have better coverage. If you just let your concealer sit and get a little bit tacky before blending it out, the coverage is greater in my opinion. So we're just gonna let that get a little tacky. Now that we've let it sit, we can blend out the concealer. I didn't let it sit for too long, but just long enough. And I like to blend this out until the concealer feels like super tacky, because then I know that my powders are gonna like stick to it and not, you know, like pick up the product or fall off. So now that that is nice and blended out, I'm now going to set with a little bit of powder. This is the Milk Makeup. This is their translucent medium powder, and I really love this. This is their Blur and Set. So you definitely want to blur like the pores and stuff. So I'm gonna dig into this. I did cut like a hole in like the mesh part just because I really feel like I can get more product without, you know, that mesh thing. That mesh thing really like was holding back product. So just going to set underneath my eyes, of course, because I can never just like put concealer on and not set. If you are one of those people who don't necessarily have to set your concealer, I think using the Tarte one would be nice without setting, because it is a little bit more radiant than the regular Shape Tape, so that'll be nice, but I have to set. Now dipping back into the powder, I am going to just press this up underneath my eyes and just let it sit there and bake for a little bit. And I'm also going to be sure to kind of like carve out that nose area. So while I let that sit underneath my eyes and just kind of like bake a little bit, I'm going to move on to my eyeshadow. I'm going to use the Dose of Colors Foundation palette because I just really am obsessed with this. And for a soft glam look, I really love these brown taupey shades. So I'm going to use these two right here, which is Churro and Necessary. And I'm first going to take Necessary, which is the lighter shade of the two, and I'm going to work that shade in my crease and just kind of all over in a sense. Just really buff this color out. This shadow has really great pigmentation, and it's just a really nice, subtle, like brown, just to throw in your crease, kind of like an everyday shade, to be honest. But this is definitely perfect for like a soft glam look, so that's why I chose to go with this palette today. It's just really, really beautiful. If you guys have this palette, let me know if you're as obsessed with these brown tones in here as I am, because girl, I'm always picking this palette up. So now I'm just using this Moda brush to really just like blend and smoke everything out. With this kind of look, you want things to be seamless. You don't want any harsh lines or anything too defined. You want it to all just kind of like blend together. So I'm just really making sure that I'm like blending the heck out of my shadow. Even though we only have one shadow on now, we're obviously going to add more color, but it's just really good to just blend as you go. So the next shade I am going to pick up is going to be Churro, which is the darker brown. And I'm going to use this shadow to mostly focus it on the outer corner of my eye. And I'm going to start by just tapping it lightly. You don't want too much at once. You want to just kind of build it up slowly, but not make it too smoky. So I'm going to start on the outer part of my eye, and then I'm going to blend upwards into my crease, but I'm not going to go above that previous shadow that we put on there. So just really, really lightly and start to blend. If you wanted to, you could place it with one brush and then go back with the brush you were using to blend the first shadow out. Just use that just to diffuse it a little more and just really start to define that outer corner. But again, not too smoky, just something nice and subtle. And make sure it's all blended in nicely. Grabbing my M50, I'm going to dip back into Churro again and just really blend out this area right here on the side. And this really helped to smoke it out. I find that because the brush is so tiny, it's really easy to just like get right here in the crease without going too far up. Sometimes if you're using too fluffy of a brush, it just goes too far up and you don't want that. Now that we have that nice and blended, I want to go into the ABH Modern Renaissance palette. I'm going to grab Golden Orchid or Golden Ochre. I don't know. But this shadow right here, which is more like a tan. It's more like a tan kind of shade. And I'm just going to pack this lightly in my inner corner of my eye just to bring some brightness to the look and it not be so dark, so to kind of open up the eyes and just kind of make it a little brighter and seamless. By doing this, it allows it to open up the eyes a bit more and look less smoky and just more seamless and kind of just thrown together in a sense, but in a good way. and it just makes it really, really soft. You could go in with a shimmer shadow. I don't necessarily believe that it has to be all matte to be soft glam. Obviously nothing too intense and not like a super cut crease or anything, or not cut crease at all, honestly, in my opinion. I mean, everybody has their own outlook on what a soft glam makeup tutorial is or a look is. This is just my kind of interpretation of it, and I think it's really pretty, really soft, yet still kind of glam. I am gonna apply lashes, but before I do want to put a little bit of Necessary on my bottom lash line just to kind of smoke it out just a little bit. Nothing too crazy or intense, but I do want to just add a little bit of color underneath here just to kind of tie the look all together and it not be so plain and bare. So I'm back. Lashes are on. I really, really love them. They are very wispy. They're not too dramatic, but again, I love me a wispy lash. These are the Wispy's 3D Faux Mink Pro Beauty Essential Lashes. I believe I got these at like TJ Maxx or something, or Marshall's, one of the two. I really have been finding a lot of really good affordable lashes for the low. So check out your TJ Maxx or Marshall's because these lashes are popping. So I did that because I didn't want to take away from the eyes, but I also wanted it to be glam, but not too dramatic on the lashes. And I really, really love these. So I did that. Also, I applied my $1 Billion Brows. This is their Brow Duo Pencil. I use the concealer side underneath my brows just to define them a little bit more, and I really love it. I've been loving using that. Kind of obsessed, to be honest. And then for the waterline, I kept it nude. I used this nude pencil from LA Girl. This is their Perfect Precision Lip Liner, and again, the shade Nude. And I really love this versus like a white. A white could be too harsh and just too much. So a nude one just really balances everything out. I feel like it really goes with the tones that we got going on the eyes. And again, it makes the eyes pop. So I really, really love that. And then for bottom lash mascara, I did use the Maybelline Lash Discovery mascara. And it just has a really thin wand, which I really, really love, because it really just like gets underneath there and extends my bottom lashes. So that's what I did off camera. Now we're going to bronze up the skin and put some color back in this face because we are looking a little one-toned. So I'm going to use the Too Faced Cocoa Contour Palette. I'm going to go in to the shade Dark Cocoa, which is this shade over here. This one is a little bit too cool tone for me, so I really love to just use this shade right here. And I'm going to use that to just like bronze up my face, obviously. And I'm just going to put this over here. I'm going to try not to do too much when it comes to bronzing up my face today, because it's supposed to be a nice soft glam, nothing too much, you know? I don't know how to explain it. Like, and you definitely don't want like a bronzer helmet. So just going to apply a light layer. I do want to apply a light contour, so I am going to use this bronzer from ABH, and this is in the shade Saddle. It is a little dark, so that's why I'm using it for a contour more so than a bronzer. And I'm just going to apply a little bit of this with this BoxyCharm brush. I really love this brush for contouring, and just kind of chisel out my cheeks just a little bit. Now that our cheeks are nice and bronzy and a little bit more defined, I'm going to define it just a tad bit more with a little bit of powder. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Translucent Powder. You guys know I love this. So I'm just going to use this just to carve out underneath. I would use the Milk Makeup Powder, but I really have been loving using this one. Sometimes I like to use different powders for different things, and this one's just a really good one to like clean up underneath. So I'm just going to drag it. So I don't like to let this sit too long. Finally, for the last two steps before we get to the lips, blush and highlight. Now for blush, I am going to be using kind of like a glowy kind of blush highlight. I don't really know which one it is, to be honest. But this is the Tarte's Pro Glow and Blush Palette. So I don't know if it's supposed to be a highlighter or a blush, but I am going to take this brown shade right up here. Does have some gold kind of glitter particles in it, so just gonna dust a nice amount of that and then put it on my cheeks. and it's really like natural colored, like a nice brown, but it has like that glow to it. So it's like not like chunky glitter or anything like that. It just looks really nice on the skin. And then for highlighting like the center of my face, like my nose and my lip, I'm gonna use this highlight up here. It's like a golden champagne kind of shade. And I'm just gonna add a little bit on my nose. And I'm just like using this pencil brush for a little bit more like precise highlighting versus just putting it everywhere. And down the bridge of my nose and on my lip. And don't worry, I will blend that highlighter out. I just want to get it placed. And then we can add a little bit on the brow bone. Like whatever's remaining on the brush, just add it to the brow bone just to add a little bit extra oomph there. And of course, we're going to hit our inner corners a little bit. Even though our eyes are matte and our face is like super glowy looking, I do want to add a little bit of shimmer in the inner corner just for like that inner corner pop. Now before we get to our lip, I do want to kind of set everything down because we did use a lot of powders. I'm first going to go in with my Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. I'm going to spray this directly on the sponge and then use that to just tap everything into the skin. And it just helps the products like sink in better and just really press that powder in. If there was any like loose powder or anything left on the face, it'll be immediately like soaked into the skin by doing it this way. I like doing it this way. I really feel like it sets the makeup in a lot better versus like spraying the setting spray on your face and just letting it dry. This picks up the powder and just makes everything look seamless, you know, and I really have been loving this technique. So right now I'm taking that one, and then I will use a little bit of the Dewy Set because I do want more of like a glowy base. You know, I want my face to glow, so I'm going to use this one and just press that into the skin as well, especially in the areas that I kind of just like want to glow. So this helps me be more precise with that kind of setting spray versus it being all over my face. When it comes to the lips, I really wanted more of like a beige nude, but your girl has to get more lip stuff. So if you guys know of a really good beige nude like lip product, whether I need a lip liner, well, not so much the lip liner, but a lip gloss and a lipstick. So I'll have like the matte version and the glossy version. Let me know. There is one from MAC that I do want to pick up, but I just haven't got around to picking it up yet, which I should, that I want to get. But aside from that, let me know if you guys have any suggestions for me. But I am going to go in with this Milani All Natural Lip Pencil. It's very tiny at this point, but I'm just going to use this to line my lips. And I'm going to fill them in a little bit. So this is more like pinky nude, and I really didn't want pinky nude, but it's okay because we're going to cover it up. So I'm going to take a little bit of the Infallible Pro Matte Liquid Lipstick, and I'm going to just put a little bit of this on. I also have this Too Faced Melted Matte Metallic Liquid Lipstick right here, and this is in the shade Pillow Talk. Honestly, when I got this, I didn't know it was like metallic, but let's see how this looks on top of all of this. Then on top of that, I'm going to take a little bit of the Fenty. This is their Fenty Glow Gloss Bomb, and I'm going to add that on top. Okay, beauties, so this is the finished and final look. I really, really love it. I hope you guys do as well. Definitely sound off down below in the comments and let me know what you guys think about today's look. I feel like soft glam is just that, soft. It's like the application and the marriage of the products together combined are just like seamless and just like unified, you know? And I feel like I definitely created that today. This look can definitely be worn on an everyday basis. It's not just, you know, to get glam. I feel like it can go with anything in my closet. It's really a go-to look for me, especially just throwing a bunch of browns and neutral tones in your crease and just calling it a day, really. But just make sure that no matter what you are blending, you don't want anything to be super defined. I feel like if I would have defined like my cut crease area like this front part of my eye more, then it wouldn't be so soft. You know what I'm saying? It's more of like a more intense type of glam. You get me? But overall, I feel like this look is super easy to achieve. Even if you're a beginner in makeup, this is not hard. You just gotta make sure you're blending. As you guys can probably tell, I favor glowy skin, glossy lip, nice fluffy brows, and like a warm hazy kind of eye. A little smoked out, but not super smoked out to where it's like super dramatic. And it, to me, is just really soft and really put together. I hope you guys enjoyed this, honestly. Let me know any video ideas that you guys have down in the comment section as well. So not only let me know if you loving this look like I'm loving this look, but also let me know of any video ideas, because I am doing my pre-planning and I want to put out content that I know you guys are gonna love and like. Other than that, I don't have anything else to say other than I love you guys so much. Thank you all for supporting me, and I will see you guys super soon in the next video or vlog, whichever one comes first.